Harry, it ain't gonna happen. Dream on, baby.
Hasn't Australia suffered enough? What have you done to deserve this?
There shall be a crowd, and they shall be mobbed. It'll be like the Beatles in the 1960s. No one's interested. They could do a press release about where they're going to be and when, and it'll be a no-show. So a spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess, we don't know who it is, but it will be someone that will be fired early tomorrow morning. And it'll be another member of the Sussex Survivors Squad. Here's what they said. They said the Sussexes will visit Australia in mid-April to take part in a number of private, business and philanthropic engagements. Who do these people think they are? What are those business engagements going to be? Given the fact that the world's biggest streaming giant has just fired Meghan Markle and has had nothing to do with Harry for years.
What happens when a country that once cheered on a royal couple suddenly tells them, not so fast, you're not welcome here? And what does it mean for the monarchy when one of the Crown's most loyal Commonwealth nations openly pushes back?
I expect there'll be a very different level of public access to them this time. Would they be likely to be doing public events with meets and greets of members of the public, do you think, or will this all be very tightly controlled?
It will be tightly controlled. I've seen, what I thought was interesting was the announcement included private events. Like wouldn't we just assume that they would want privacy throughout the excursion? But don't forget, or don't think for 1 second, they won't try to make it look like an official royal engagement. They will want certain photo opportunities where there's an audience clamoring for them so that they can send those pictures to People magazine. But for the most part, I do think that it will be mostly private events and commercial ventures that they're pursuing more so than charity opportunities.
That's the storm building right now as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle gear up for their next trip to Australia. But even before they've boarded a plane, a political firestorm has erupted. A petition signed by thousands of Australians is spreading like wildfire online, demanding that not a single cent of taxpayer money goes toward their visit. And this isn't some tiny corner complaint lost on the internet. It's exploding into a full-blown national debate.
By up-and-coming reporters, people just starting out, people you don't know of. Jackie O! Jackie O, how does she qualify? The whole thing is such a farce.
It's so unserious. It is so unserious. And I used to have maybe a shred of respect for them. Now it's totally gone at this point. I can now see the truth of what Meghan's PR strategy is. Craven views, that publicity here and there. She doesn't care about independent journalists. She just doesn't. It's true. All she wants is a bit of a headline, and unfortunately, we keep giving them to her because she's easy. She's very easy to go after, but she makes it like that for herself, Andrew.
For many Australians, this trip sparks one burning question: why should public money back two people who no longer officially represent the Crown? And here's the kicker: it makes the whole drama even juicier.
And there's no way that any self-respecting entrepreneur is going to throw a few Australian dollars in their direction. The other thing about the Australians that I know intimately well is they don't like grifters. They don't like fakes. They don't like phonies. If you go to Australia, you don't have to be perfect, but you've got to be real.
Australia used to be the stage for one of Harry and Meghan's biggest royal wins. Flashback to 2018. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex touched down for their first tour as a married couple. And the response was electric.
The couple's I'm thinking thoughts and prayers. The couple's popularity in Australia in 2018 was the catalyst for Harry and Meghan making demands as working members of the royal family. I don't know if you know that. In trying to step out of William and Catherine's shadow, Meghan started comparing herself to Princess Diana and tried to use this trip as leverage with the late Queen. As of late 2025, Harry and Meghan's popularity in Australia is at an all-time low.
Crowds flooded Sydney and Melbourne streets. People queued for hours just to see the modern royal pair in action. Meghan's effortless style and confident aura clicked immediately with Australians, a nation that loves authenticity over pretension. Harry, on the other hand, looked energized, relaxed, and completely in his element.
And the Mark Dolan show has been told by a very well-placed royal source that we trust implicitly that this trip is one that Harry hopes will put him and Meghan back on the royal map. That is how deluded these people are, that they think there's a chance that there's a way back when clearly there is not.
Royal experts called the tour a diplomatic triumph, proof that the monarchy could adapt and connect with a modern Commonwealth. For a moment, Harry and Meghan seemed like the future of royalty.
That they're doing this all wrong. I mean, they're very lucky that they got out of Jordan just days before the Middle East erupted. But you can see that they're not privy to any of the sort of stringent protocols that go with being a royal, going on a royal tour. I think it's totally disrespectful to the royal family, especially with all they're going through at the moment.
But that golden moment didn't last. Since that tour, the story has flipped completely. The couple stepped back from royal duties, moved to California, and launched headline-making projects, including a revealing interview with Oprah Winfrey, a viral documentary series, and a memoir that gave the public a peek inside palace life. Along the way, they built a global brand. One critics argue still leans heavily on the royal names they once carried.
So it's quite extraordinary. It's going to have the opposite effect. If Harry thinks that this will be a game changer, the game will be changed, and it will work against him. Because Harry is going to once again infuriate not just his father, King Charles, but of course the real power behind the throne, William, who is the equivalent of the president-elect. He is the heir to the throne. He's the king in waiting, and he won't take any of this nonsense from Harry when he becomes the main man.
Now, they're coming back to Australia under a completely new spotlight. Not as active royals representing the crown, but as private figures with an international brand to promote and an image to defend. And the moment their visit was announced on March 8th, the backlash hit instantly. Within hours, the petition exploded online, racking up signatures at lightning speed. Its message was sharp and impossible to miss. Harry and Meghan stepped away from royal duties in 2020 and now run private ventures from the United States.
They're among the least popular members of the royal family. I would say reception will be a combination of morbid curiosity with the side of, why are they here?
They're coming to do a mock royal tour of Australia next month, Samara, where Meghan Markle is going to appeal to the bogan vote by going on a podcast with Jackie O. What is this visit all about?
Oh, God, can they just stop with the pseudo-royal tours? I mean, they're like pound store royals at this point. You just can't sort of understand why they're doing this.
So if they swing by Australia, it's got to be treated for what it really is. A private trip. No official status, no government coordination, and most importantly, no taxpayer-funded perks.
So Harry wants to be right at the heart of the royal family again because he wants the fame, he wants the status, he wants the privilege, and he wants the money.
She and Harry have been a massive disappointment for Netflix.
Yeah, I feel like we had this on our 2026 bingo card, didn't we?
For many Australians, the rules have changed and the age of royal privilege might finally be over. So what exactly are Australians demanding? The petition makes it crystal clear. If Harry and Meghan visit, it has to be strictly private. No VIP treatment, no fancy welcome ceremonies, and absolutely no public money. The wording is brutal and intentional. With rising living costs hitting everyday Australians, the argument is that public resources should be protected.
And of course, they're so worried about their security. Are they going to have armed cops in Australia? Well, the good people of Australia will not be expected to cough up money for the protection of these royal spoiled brats. Why should they? The Australians have no skin in that game. And we know that Harry's battling the Home Office in the UK for armed royal protection.
That means no government support, no security funded by taxpayers, and none of the fanfare usually reserved for royalty. But the real drama shows up in the comments left by those signing, and some are savage. One person didn't hold back. These two have been handed more money than most people will see in a lifetime. They can absolutely pay their own way. Another went even further, calling their trips cosplay tours, performances pretending to be royal duties but delivering no real public value. That single word, cosplay, stings. It highlights a hard truth. For critics, the line between a royal tour and a celebrity appearance has been crossed. And once that line is crossed, it's almost impossible to blur again. Here's where the drama spikes even higher.
It is a total farce. You can see, I love that, the bogan vote. I mean, you can't get more sort of out of touch or out of tune with how Australia is than to think, oh, I'm going to stand up for women's rights and talk about my, my plight and my fight for freedom with Jackie O.
According to royal commentator Tom Sykes, Writing for his Substack newsletter, The Royalist, the backlash isn't coming from one side. It's spreading across the board. Opposition is growing from both monarchists and Republicans, two groups that rarely see eye to eye. And that may be the clearest sign of all. Republicans see the visit as the perfect lightning rod to question the monarchy's relevance in modern Australia, especially when Harry and Meghan are global celebrities running private ventures. But for monarchists, the anger cuts deeper. Many loyal supporters no longer view Harry and Meghan as representatives of the crown. Instead, they're seen as individuals who openly criticize the monarchy while still cashing in on the fame that comes with royal titles.
Harry sees this trip as a potential game changer in his relationship with the family, and our source goes on to say Harry wants to turn heads, wow everyone, and show the royals what they're missing. Yikes! What is going on? Is Harry back on the mind-altering substances? We know from reading the book Spare that he was baked for a decade. Well, people will say wow, right? So he wants to turn heads and wow everyone. People will say wow when he goes to Australia. They'll say, wow, this couple are so embarrassing. Wow, this couple are deluded. Wow, this couple are living on another planet.
For loyalists, the thought of the Sussexes touching down and getting anything that even looks like an official welcome feels like a slap in the face to Queen Elizabeth's famous rule: you're either in or you're out. There's no middle ground. And suddenly, the timing of this trip gets super intriguing. Harry and Meghan are set to arrive in April, but months before, behind palace doors, something quietly happened. Last September, Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese met King Charles and officially extended an invitation for the Prince and Princess of Wales to tour the country. There were whispers that Prince William and Princess Catherine might make the trip later this year.
In a way, it's confected. It's because they're irrelevant. They're falling off the news cycle. Meghan isn't selling any jam. You know, it was the Queen's dying wish. She did say in that statement when they Mexited that she didn't want them to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out royals. Now, over here, we're calling them kind of gig economy royals because it seems like they're just picking up jobs here and there, wherever they want to do them. They never wanted to do the full-time work. I think Meghan found it way too hard.
But those plans are now murky, and the chance seems slimmer by the day. That creates a wild twist. The couple who step back from royal duties could end up being the first major royals on Australian soil in years. Harry and Meghan will be meeting veterans, attending high-profile events, and grabbing headlines, while the future king and queen stay thousands of miles away. Palace insiders say that contrast is already stirring tension. Every headline about the Sussexes sparks one question across the Commonwealth: why aren't other royals showing up more often? The spotlight is about to scorch. Harry and Meghan's arrival shakes the palace quietly but dramatically. For years, William and Catherine have been groomed as the calm, reliable heirs.
Yikes! Harry's desperate move, a cynical new low for the prince as he plots yet another fake royal trip overseas in a last shameless attempt to win over King Charles and make himself a frontline serving royal once again.
Their every move choreographed and predictable. Meanwhile, Harry operates outside the system, free to grab headlines and global attention that the future king and queen can't touch. Australia isn't just another stop, it's a stage. Their 2018 tour charmed the public, especially Meghan, but behind closed doors it ignited jealousy and strained family ties. Now, returning as private citizens with business ambitions, they face a country juggling economic pressure, a simmering Republican debate, and lingering controversies still tied to their names. Every handshake, every appearance, every smile carries history. The nation that once cheered them as royal favorites now questions their role. Australia will see a couple celebrated and scrutinized, wielding celebrity influence while navigating palace politics in the shadows. This isn't just a visit, it's a test, and the whole world is watching. Australia is bracing for a royal storm. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are back, and the scene is anything but celebratory. For Australians, Harry and Meghan aren't just visiting. They're a symbol of a monarchy under scrutiny, a family drama playing out on the global stage, and a petition demanding they pay their own way has become a magnet for bigger frustrations.
And Meghan and Harry, it's just another cheap publicity stunt for them. What's new? What's new? Honestly.
The federal government has been clear. This is a private trip. Taxpayers won't automatically pick up the tab, but reality hits hard. State and territory police still have to manage security, crowd control, and logistics, juggling the impossible task of keeping high-profile figures safe while maintaining public order. The symbolic punch of the petition clashes with real-world logistics, and the gray area just keeps growing. Every public appearance will be walking a tightrope. Will cheers drown out the boos? Will old tensions finally fade or ignite again? Sometimes the fate of mighty institutions isn't decided in parliaments, but whispered in petitions that swell into roars. Australia is about to test the Sussex model. Private celebrities with royal blood, stepping into public spaces that may not see them as heroes. The petition has blown up from a whisper to a headline-grabbing political story, covered across every major outlet and picked up internationally. It forces Harry and Meghan, and by extension, the palace, to face questions they'd rather dodge.
Our source goes on to say, Harry is hoping to tap into some of the magic of that last trip 7 years ago, where he believes that he and Meghan truly shone. He thinks that his father, the king, will be impressed with this Australian trip and will reach out.
What are they now? What claim do they have on respect, influence, or Commonwealth resources? The stakes couldn't be higher. When the Sussexes land in April, they'll enter a nation split down the middle. The Prime Minister has stayed neutral, carefully framing the trip as private, but neutrality won't save them from media scrutiny, petitions, or the public's critical eye. Every move will be dissected, every smile weighed, every headline analyzed. Australia, once the site of their biggest royal victory, has turned into a high-stakes battlefield, and the Duke and Duchess know it. Behind the scenes, Canberra is walking a diplomatic tightrope. Too much support risks angering thousands of petition signers. Too little, and the government risks awkward moments with the king's son. It's a delicate balance. Harry may be a celebrity, but he's still a royal by blood, and every action is watched. Meanwhile, the opposition smells opportunity. Conservative commentators and politicians are weaponizing the petition, claiming the monarchy has become a liability. The Sussexes, they argue, have hijacked the royal narrative, trading on titles while chasing personal agendas, exposing cracks in the institution. This visit isn't just ceremonial, it's a test of relevance. The monarchy once demanded automatic respect.
Now, Harry wants to be a frontline serving royal because he's bored in America and he's flat broke. Don't forget, the deals are disappearing and Netflix have just pulled the plug.
But the modern world questions every expense, every gesture, every trip. Public outrage, petitions, and social media campaigns have become the ultimate accountability tools. Harry and Meghan stepping on Australian soil isn't just a visit, it's a reckoning. William and Catherine remain silent as protocol demands, but their eyes are sharp. Every headline, every hint of dissent, every debate over royal funding is being tracked. Palace observers suggest a long-term play. Let Harry and Meghan take the heat, spark conversations about responsibility and relevance, while William and Catherine step in later as the calm, competent alternative. The royals who understand the bargain and earn respect instead of just headlines. King Charles faces a quiet but personal dilemma. His younger son, a man he loves, is the center of controversy. Yet the crown itself must endure. In Australia, this tension plays out on a global stage, forcing a test of family loyalty against institutional survival, questions no royal handbook could prepare for. Publicly, King Charles stays neutral, refusing to comment on non-working royals. Privately, things are far messier. He knows Harry and Meghan's commercial ventures lean on the royal brand.
Sources told Page Six the return on investment simply wasn't there. The show was a significant disappointment to the streamer. And with the product line being an extension of With Love Meghan, it makes absolutely no sense to maintain this working relationship.
That every appearance trades on the family name, and that the Australian petition is a direct result. The timing couldn't be worse. The king is managing his own health, balancing public duties, and carving out a reign distinct from his mother's. Now, controversy erupts in a key Commonwealth nation triggered by his own son. Questions swirl: funding, relevance, loyalty. Royal watchers notice a pattern. Canada, the US, the UK. Public scrutiny follows them everywhere. Australia has become the testing ground. If Harry and Meghan are forced to cover their own costs, it could set a precedent for other nations. For Meghan, this is personal. The 2018 tour was meant to cement her place and prove her worth. Now, she returns to scathing criticism and accusations of entitlement, facing a nation loudly questioning her role. Harry feels the pressure too. This is no minor annoyance. It's a full-scale reckoning. Australia was supposed to be a stage of triumph, the place where Harry believed Meghan would be embraced, not just by the public, but by the palace itself. He has spoken and written about how transformative that tour felt, how it was supposed to shift family dynamics and cement their place in royal history. Returning now, only to face doubt and skepticism, must feel like a knife twisting.
Harry and Meghan plan to rebound from this latest flop with another tour of Australia. A spokesperson for the couple telling news.com.au the couple will be visiting in mid-April. Kinsey, their last tour here was back in 2018, 18 months before they quit their royal duties and relocated to the US.
And yet, no one is to blame but themselves. Every move since that golden tour, the memoir, explosive interviews, Netflix and Spotify projects, has chipped away at public goodwill. Their post-royal empire depends on fascination, affection, and headlines that elevate rather than vilify. Once public opinion turns hostile, sponsors hesitate, partners second-guess, and the carefully polished Sussex brand starts to crack. This is why the Australian petition matters beyond politics or security. It's a test, a proving ground for a brand built on fame and controversy. Survive the storm and generate positive coverage, and they prove their allure can outlast scandal. Fail, and the consequences are brutal. Negative headlines, angry crowds, and a petition dominating every story. The palace watches with bated breath. The goal? A visit that passes quietly. Enough positive coverage to avoid disaster, but never so much that William, Catherine, or the King are overshadowed. A perfect outcome would be mediocrity, easily forgotten. But thanks to the petition, mediocrity is impossible. Every step Harry and Meghan take in Australia will be watched. Every appearance dissected. Every headline shaped by controversy. The story is already written. They are the flashpoint, the lightning rod, the test case. Whether the visit succeeds quietly or explodes into headlines, the petition has already won. As mid-April approaches, uncertainty hangs thick in the air. Will crowds cheer or jeer? Will protests erupt or quietly fade? Can Harry and Meghan still charm the public despite the storm, or will they be forced onto the defensive at every turn? The answers will ripple far beyond this trip, impacting the Sussexes' standing in the Commonwealth and the monarchy's delicate future. Because sometimes, the biggest turning points in powerful institutions don't arrive with speeches or declarations. Sometimes they start with a single petition, a whisper that grows into a roar, forcing a nation to question what it truly believes about the crown, the House of Windsor, and its most famous renegade couple. That moment is almost here. The world is watching, and so are we. If you watched this and have thoughts, drop them in the comments below. If this breakdown made you see things differently, hit subscribe and stay locked in for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who needs to see it.